It's time to check in on the backyard garden. This bed along the wooden fence has been a fun project. I started it about 2.5 years ago. The first thing we did was plant 3 crepe myrtle trees, which are over to the left. It's been really fun watching the growth of all the different plants as spring has showed up here in South Carolina. Many of these plants were given to me by neighbors when they heard that I was starting to put in a garden, and quite a few of them I've grown from seed. I was really glad when these striped Barbados lilies came back. It's a kind of amaryllis. They're so showy and fill up the spot so nicely. This yarrow has struggled quite a lot. I planted it from seed a couple years ago, but it's just proof of how poor the soil was, because they should have grown a lot quicker and flowered last year. But I'm glad to see they're starting to come along, the color's looking better, and there are new leaves since I put down the composted mulch and also fed it some compost tea. This is a teeny tiny little lupin that was also grown from seed. I've got to cover just a couple little sticks over it to remind myself that I don't step on it. But it's growing so slowly, so we need to keep amending the soil. One of the ways to tell if the soil is not of good quality is how quickly your plants are growing, how much they're producing, whether it be flowers or fruit. And then there are other factors, how much sunshine, how much water. But it is lovely when a garden starts coming together. And for me, it's kind of like my little craft project or art project. I enjoy moving things around and trying to get the better color groupings. And part of the time, I have no idea how a plant is going to do, how tall it will grow, just because if the soil is not ideal, it's going to be half the size that it should be. And if I thought it was a tall plant and it needed to be in the back of the garden, and then it ends up being really short, then it doesn't work in the back of the garden. Like these little flowers, I didn't realize that they were such low-growing plants. And this also, actually, a neighbor around the corner gave me a couple cuttings. So they've grown quite nicely, but I need to move them forward because they are rather low-growing plants and will be kind of lost in the back of the garden as it fills out. These came from a friend in New York. So thank you, John. I'm just thrilled that they've been flowering. The last 2 years they didn't produce any flowers, so I think they're starting to settle in. The pentstemon's looking a lot better. That's filling out. And our citrus tree's looking good. The color's nice and dark green. We have a few little fruits, but unfortunately a lot of them fell off. For those of you that have just joined for our backyard garden walk, this plant was a found plant from an estate sale, and I have no idea what it is. So I'm hoping it'll produce enough fruit to be able to at least tell whether it's an orange or a lemon or a tangerine. or perhaps a grapefruit, who knows. So hopefully we'll just have to try and protect this little fruit. Actually, I think there maybe are 4 or 5 that are growing. There's a little one here. When I discovered that there were lots of flowers on this citrus plant, it was kind of late already, so I couldn't transplant it. It had come in this big pot from an estate sale, and I'm sure the soil quality is terrible, so I've been trying to amend it. I've added citratone every few weeks and compost tea, so it's definitely looking a lot healthier, but I don't know if it's healthy enough to produce some good fruit. But it's in a good spot. It's getting sunshine for 6 to 8 hours a day. I am making sure to water it almost every day just because it will dry out otherwise, and we want to give it the best chance it's got to give us some fruit. Well, thanks so much for watching, and we'll check in again in a few days' time and see how things are growing and what's blooming.